Today, I just want to let you know that we have multiple time tag team champions, WXWC for longest reigning tag team champions, the incredible, the incomparable Superstar Whiplash, the absolute Kris Kage, Zoltan, left hand on top.
There you go. He remembers.
My man.
Now,
Good.
a couple questions for y'all. Couple questions. So first off, how long have you guys been a tag team? It seems like it's been forever.
Yeah, it runs in between, somewhere in between forever. I would say we've been rolling together for going on 22 years now, and if you want to take it back to the Little Flower days, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Then our partnership lasts almost that entire time, and then want to take it to what we've been doing as far as the professional ranks. We're going on 10 years now.
Nice. I mean, that's big stuff. Like 22 years in the game, and 10 years in the game. Like, first of all, a lot of people don't know how difficult it is to get in that ring, perform at a high level like you two have for such a long period of time. It hasn't been to where it's laissez-faire or lollygagging here and there. Y'all two have been doing your things, and y'all inspired me to want to get in the ring. So I commend y'all for that. Speaking of inspirations, what are some of y'all's inspirations? Were you more inspired by other tag teams coming up, or was that just y'all both decided to get in the ring and decided to get together? How'd that work?
We both grew up liking wrestling, like separate before we got together as a team and before we got together as friends and shit. But I look up to a lot of smaller dudes because I'm little, so you know what I mean. I always like that kind of style of wrestling. But once we became a tag team, it was crazy. Like, we like a lot of tag teams too. So we like Four Horsemen, we like Rock and Roll Express, Midnight Express. We like a lot of classic tag teams. We're not really into too much of the current style of wrestling too much. You know what I mean?
I think our personal relationship played a lot into the evolution of our fandom and the goals that we set for ourselves along the way. Growing up, like he said, we grew up wrestling fans separately before we met. And me growing up, I was always a fan of the flashiest wrestler. Honestly, I wasn't so focused on the tag teams growing up as a kid. You grow up, you're little, you idolize whoever the big star is or the most colorful character is. I was a maniac growing up. You know what I mean? That quickly evolved in my adolescence to being a hardcore Ric Flair fan. And then, you just kind of, I was always attracted to the best talkers, the best showmen, the best. I'm a big Mr. Perfect fan growing up. If my influences, especially I would say before we met, I would always attribute my influence to Ric Flair, Shawn Michaels, Shane Douglas, and Mr. Perfect. And then, like I said, our friendship very much steered my fandom in a different way, too. We started watching things together and started learning that our tastes were in line with each other. We liked the same things. We liked the same style of things. We generally were attracted to the same type of wrestler or the same wrestlers. And then almost immediately, being together, we knew that tag teaming was in our future together. Right. And that's when the focus on tag teams really kind of came into play. And like you said, studying everybody from the Rock and Roll to the Midnight to, some of the modern teams today. But for us, you got to take it back in time if you really want to learn. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, what was it like when you two first started tagging? Was it instant chemistry, or was it kind of like a bumpy road?
Instant.
Nah, it's instant.
I would say that again, it's something that stemmed from our personal relationship. We usually joke that when we first met, our first impressions of each other weren't exactly that warm. And we actually had the first impression that we might not get along when we first met. That feeling lasted less than 24 hours. And within 72 hours of us meeting, we met on a Friday. And by Monday, we were pretty much inseparable and have been inseparable for 20 years since then. So, so when we got into the, whether it be backyard wrestling, or the pros now, it was like, it was almost like finding my right hand to my left hand. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hand on top. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
A lot of where that comes from. You know what I'm saying? The symbol is actually complete when it's both of us, not one of us.
Right. Right.
So did this make you guys better friends, or do you get tired of working with each other?
Yeah.
Like, man, if I have to see this guy today.
Because we did everything together. It was always like we did wrestling together. We hung out together. Like, it was just always,
we chased skirt together.
So, that too, yeah. And it's just, it made us closer together, of course. Like, now it just gave us more things to talk about, more things to think about, more things to analyze, more things to just everything. We just got closer.
I think the relationship reflected in both arenas. I think our personal relationship made us stronger tag team partners, and I think being strong tag team partners made us closer friends. So we got to a point that, like now, this is my brother, we're not just best friends. Like, it's very much an unbreakable bond that no turmoil, no problem, no anything could get in between. You know what I'm saying?
And especially like being on the road, like he's my tag team partner. So the only person that's guaranteed going to be there every single time is going to be him. So of course I'm going to be closer to him than anybody else.
We've definitely been there for each other through our good times and our bad times.
Yeah. Yeah, so I want to get into the moveset a little bit. Because one thing, if you take 2 seconds to watch any videos, you'll notice real quick that the absolute Kris Kage has one of the best elbow drops in the business, period, bar none.
I'm going to stop you right there. I'm going to have to stop you right there, because when you say one of the best elbow drops, you're already treading shallow water. You know what I'm talking about? Let's rephrase that and talk about the absolute Kris Kage having the best elbow drop in the business today. Kyrie Sane ain't wrestling right now. So,
facts.
Continue.
Yeah, but not to be outdone, though. And I'm not pitting you two against each other because they're completely different moves. But you have the best elbow drop, and then Whiplash, that stunner. It goes hand in hand.
Yes, sir.
That's in the game.
The neck, Whiplash.
Yes, people don't like to hear people talk like that in this day and age, too. You talk a little bit too much about yourself. You get labeled things. You get labeled arrogant. You get labeled cocky. You get labeled conceited. People start talking about, what is this guy talking about? I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. Let me tell you something, okay? We've been doing this for a long time, and I am a student of this game. I study it. I eat it. I sleep it. I breathe it, okay? I've watched it, and I'm humble enough to say if I'm wrong about something. You know what I'm talking about? But when it comes to that elbow drop, I challenge you to find me a better one. And then when you're talking about him and that stunner, we like to call it the whippersnapper.
Mm-hmm.
Also the best in the game. I challenge you to go find me a better one. Steve Austin is retired.
And KO doesn't come close.
And so we'd argue. Let's do a side-by-side highlight reel.
That's what's up. No, I have no argument there. I agree with you. Otherwise, I wouldn't have brought it up. So with that being said, right, going into your personas and just the entire package of everything, right? So how important do you feel entrance music is? Because again, I got to give you guys props for entrance music, man. Like everything, like when you look at Zoltan, you look at the total package, Lex Luger not included. You understand? So how important is entrance music?
I think the presentation is everything. If you want to get somebody's eyes on you, especially somebody that's never seen you before, you want them to be on you from the second you walk through the curtain. And for us, it's even before that happens because our music plays for like a good 40 seconds before one of us walk out.
Something like that. Definitely sets the mood.
It just, like you said, sets the mood for everything. You hear that music, it's just, we've wrestled in places all across the U.S. and it's like, as soon as the music hits, even if it's our debut, we got them right there, just off the music. And then it just keeps on going because the entrance is killer too. So it's like, you can't fight it.
You know, he said that presentation is everything, and that's something that we've believed our entire lives and careers. You know what I'm saying? Because...
Sorry to cut you off. It's like you meet a chick first time, you know what I mean?
First impression is most...
You want to be on it, baby. So, same thing. You wrestling in front of 300, 400, 500 people? Yeah, I want all 500 eyes on me.
Mm-hmm. See, and that's the thing these days. You know, as I'm sure we all have, you know, we grow up being fans of this. And if I were to even ask you guys, you know, what influenced you or was your favorite of any category, a lot of the time it's going to be the best at whoever presented, whether it be their promos or their entrance or who had the best gimmick or, you know, whatever it is that the category you want to talk about. And at least and, you know, we talk about this a lot in today's community, there is not, at least I feel, there is not enough attention that goes into captivating the audience before the performers of today get in the ring. You know, a lot of the guys today are so preoccupied with what they do from bell to bell and what highlights they're going to give us. And while a lot of it is great, it's a lot more difficult to care about the performers today. Mm-hmm. And it was, you know, and tell me if I'm wrong, than when we were coming up, just because, again, I don't feel the performers give the same attention to whether it be that entrance or that theme music or, you know, those mannerisms in that promo or, you know, whatever it is that gets your attention. A lot of days, guys just care about, hey, what are we going to do when we get out there? And I think a lot of people are missing a lot of what makes what we do awesome and what makes the fans drawn to their favorite wrestlers. And like you said, we concocted you've seen it in person. You've seen it live. We've concocted that entrance from minute to minute, detail to detail, because we very much had the mindset that we would have the audience's attention before the bell rang. And I think we do a pretty good job of that.
Yeah, I like to compare our entrance to like a Triple H. I was like always the same thing, on beats, on everything. Everything is always...
When we were coming up, that was really the mindset. It was like...
It was good.
It was, can we come up with something that fans could eventually memorize and emulate?
And they do.
And wrestlers today don't think like that.
Interesting. See, what you were saying about the details is important because the details, I know that coming up as a kid, the details were important. You know, if my favorite wrestler is Bret Hart. So if Bret Hart, when he moved the symbol from here to here, that was a detail difference. That it was big for me. Right. When he changed it, you know, it was, you know, how many hearts was on his pants or how the flames looked, what color they were. All those details mattered, right? And then you think about as we get older, the details still matter, especially in terms of entertainment, because now it's not so much, okay, just the gear, because you might like somebody by what color they wear or whatever the case may be. But now it's more that you have to add on top of that to maintain that captivity. It's not just, oh, I like the design on his gear or whatever. While that's all well and good, there has to be something behind it. You got the best gear in the world and then not be able to do a promo, you know, not be able to captivate the audience prior to the match to make them want to see the match. And then there goes your career. You know.
I'll
So
give you
yeah.
I'll give you a I'll give you a Bret Hart example right now. You know, like you said, it's the little things, and sometimes it's the littlest of things that make the biggest difference. You think about Bret Hart, play his entrance, play that whole thing in your head. Bret Hart was all about no nonsense. There wasn't a lot of flash there. There wasn't a lot of, there wasn't pyrotechnics and, and laser lights and all these things. And yeah, we wore pink and black, but that was pretty much as colorful as it get. But I'll give you this detail right here. Bret Hart gets out of the ring every time before his match starts to do what? To give his glasses to a young fan. And if I were to encapsulate everything that Bret Hart stood for, it would be in that small moment right there. That moment where he takes off those glasses and gives it to that audience member represents that everything that Bret Hart stands for. The fact that everything that he does, and he puts his body on the line, and he takes the business as serious as he always has, but he does it all 100% for the people watching. And their entertainment and their enjoyment is what's most important to him. And most importantly, the connection that they make with him. You know that every fan that got a pair of those glasses are still holding those glasses today. Talking about the glasses Bret Hart gave me in '92 at the Garden.
Everything else in the house
is a
and that's what makes me say like we're more interested in the old school. It's like now it's like people don't focus so much on the audience. Like yeah, they do. Don't get me wrong, but it's like when you call out 1,000 spots, you don't know how the people are going to react to either any one of those spots. So it's like if you just choreograph the whole thing, you don't know what they're gonna. You don't know how that could go. Your whole plan could get fucked up as soon as you start. So it's like we like to do stuff more old school, more traditional, more let's feed off the people. Let's see what they want us to do.
With pro wrestling, it's interesting because there's the you have to be physically fit. You have to do your weightlifting, your cardio. You have to be athletic. You have to have performance, acting ability. All of these things come together to make what you guys do. How do you balance the training or the dedication to each one of these separate things that all end up coming together in the end?
Well, as far as training and stuff like that, we try to train as much as we could. We try to get in the ring as much as we could.
Of course, the current
now
climate in the country has affected that greatly.
Hold on, where's my mask? Oh wait, we're on Skype. We're good.
But as far as like you said, like acting and things like that, the style that we have, it's not. I don't try to act really, and again, like I don't like when my stuff looks fake. So I'm gonna hit you. Like it's not. You're not gonna be acting when you're in the ring with me. You're gonna know you got hit. And I encourage people to hit me back because if you're hitting me like a girl like this and I'm acting hurt, it makes both of us look stupid. So if we're going to be in the ring and we're going to be performing in front of people, I'm going to hit you and you're going to know you got hit.
We came up in that generation where, again, just a lot of the things that I feel were important in the history of what we do are not as important in today's scene as they might have been, 10 years ago, 20 years ago. But when it comes to that acting thing and everything that he just said, I think what sets guys like us apart from a lot of the guys you see today, or even guys that came up with us that may have a different style. And you've heard a lot of wrestlers say this before. To me, and I think I can speak for him too. This is not an act to me. Say what you will about our business and how we put it together, but this is very much a shoot for me. And I know for a fact that when we're in that ring and from bell to bell, it's a shoot to him too. And that mentality of if you're not making the effort to make it as believable as I am, I'm not going to dedicate myself to going along with what's happening or have the same type of passion and commitment to what is happening, because I know your heart is not in it the way my heart is in it. You know what I mean? When I throw a punch in that ring, there is no, that F word that he just said, there is none of that. You know what I mean? And personally, and I hope a lot of wrestlers hear this when I say this, that a lot of you are a little too soft to be doing what we do today. You understand? You'll be surprised how many times you go back in a locker room and you have a guy say, yo, you need to ease up a little bit. I need to ease up a little bit. This is pro wrestling. Okay? If you can't take a smack and you can't take a hit, then you need to go be doing something else. You understand what I'm talking about? But guys,
I've heard that a
lot. I don't want to say that we got a generation of guys that have been allowed into the business that should not have been allowed into the business. But we got a generation of guys that have been allowed into the business that should not have been allowed into the fucking business. So, and anybody could at me at that, or you could come see me in the ring.
So going with like your
question, and to even go a step further and a little bit deeper than that, when it comes to acting, this ain't a gimmick that we play. You know us personally. You've seen us. You've interacted with us in person, and you know that the person that's talking to you on this screen is the same person that you're going to be talking to in your face. It doesn't change. My voice still gets the same pitch and tone if you get me fired up. It doesn't matter the setting. The only difference is that when the camera's rolling, the camera's rolling. And when it's not, it's not. But this person right here and that person right there, they don't change whether the red light is on or not. And that's the difference between us and a lot of the pretenders you got running around today that just worry about sketching their new pair of tights.
That's the perfect answer. That's the perfect answer, you guys.
So somebody's over holding their stomach right now because they just got hit hard.
So with going into your guys' like move sets and everything, what's like the main contributor into developing your techniques and move sets when you're out there in the ring?
Work the tag team match. Again, I have a feeling that the theme of this episode is going to be that wrestling today sucks, because a lot of the tag teams today, we've worked them. You see them on television today. The art of the tag team match is a lost art. Our mentality when we get into the ring is keep you away from your tag team partner. However, we can do that, even if we might have to bend a rule or two.
Fuck that, I aim for that.
And when it comes to all of that, move sets and stuff like that, that comes along with it. You know what I mean? Our double teams, again, not looking to be flashy, not necessarily looking to razzle and dazzle anybody, looking to hurt somebody and make sure that you cannot reach your tag team partner. And I think if we accomplish that goal, our batting average in our tag team matches stays pretty high. As you said, the longest reigning tag team champions in WXWC4 history.
That's right.
It's a lot of fucking tag teams.
Now, what would you say is your favorite match, your favorite opponent that you ever worked with? Who brought the best out in you two?
That one will probably be a multiple answer because we got some single stuff that we're both very fond of, as well as our tag team stuff. Brother?
One of my favorite tag teams to wrestle is LAX. Loud and Powerful, Inner Circle, whatever the hell you want to call them. I like wrestling them. Well, that comes from us being friends with them for a long time, but I like wrestling them. A team we wrestled in WXWC4, Lobo and Sammy Adams, we had a lot of matches with them. I like wrestling Dan Moff, actually, for some reason. It's not fun, like he kicks the shit out of him, but I like it. Like,
it's a learning experience.
Yeah, and he doesn't bitch about things. You know what I mean? If I want to punch him in the face, you just go.
Yeah, that
it brings more realism for me anyway.
We've had great matches, like you said, against anytime we get to mix it up with Santana and Ortiz, we came up together. It's always going to be a fun night. It's going to be a hard hitting night, and the type of night that we enjoy. Samuel Adams and Lobo from out in Allentown, Pennsylvania. We've had a lot of battles with those guys. We've traded titles back and forth with those guys. All types of matches with all types of stipulations.
Oh yeah.
Our debut at Beyond Wrestling was a great night. We had the opportunity to work with Santana and Ortiz again, along with 2 other up and coming tag teams, and rocked the house that night. That was pretty awesome. My brother, as a part of Fighting Spirit Wrestling and being the pre-metal champion of that company, had a lot of matches that I personally am a big fan of.
Oh, yeah.
Wrestling talent from Ring of Honor and CZW and a lot of territories from up and down the East Coast. And for me personally, I enjoyed some nice single success in the Bronx Wrestling Federation in 2019. And I would say from that, I had a clash with Brother Greatness, who which stands out as one of my most enjoyable encounters in the past couple of years.
Interesting. All right, so from that, what would you say a match that you haven't had yet? And for the both of you, what would be your dream match?
Proud and Powerful on national television.
FTR.
And then FTR after that. Who I would argue is the best tag team in wrestling, especially on a national television platform.
I don't know. I'm a fan of a lot of different shit though. Like I would like to wrestle Gorillas of Destiny. I would like to wrestle the North.
Very nice.
I want to wrestle the Howard Foundation just to say that we fucked them up.
Always beneficial.
I really like this.
Pillman does kind of have a smackable face, you know what I'm saying? He got one of those faces you want to smack him, you know?
Oh, you remember when he shitted on him and then fucking...
That's that.
That was a wild time, bro. It's a good story.
You ever meet somebody that just, they didn't do anything wrong to you, and they're not necessarily a bad person, but they just got a face that you just want to smack them?
This guy agrees.
He knows what I'm talking about.
My man.
Oh, yeah. Ty just finished smacking somebody. Ty just came back and smacked somebody.
My man. My man.
It was me, though. It was me. He smacked.
Oh, so. How's your face, Matthew?
It's a little red. You know, I put some makeup on so you can't see it.
It stings. Well, where can the people find you if they want to find you?
Well, we got we're all over the place, baby.
Oh, yeah.
We got the Facebook, we got the Instagram, we got the Twitter, we got the YouTube channel. Wherever you want to go, you want to find us. You're looking for the Zoltan Together. Hit us up on social media at Zoltan_Army of Two. That's on Facebook. That's on Instagram. That's on Twitter. You hit us up on YouTube. Just look for Left Hand on Top Productions. You already know the tagline. And if you're looking for us in any solo capacity, you can look for us on social media at Absolute Cage.
Superstar Whiplash.
And at Superstar Whiplash or Superstar Mike Whiplash, depending on the platform.
Yeah. Not a lot of people let me use my name, you know.
And what if somebody wants to get that gear?
And if somebody wants to get that gear, you're going to head over to prowrestlingtees.com/AbsoWear, baby. Get a good look at this. You like that? Look at that right there. That's the official AbsoWear t-shirt. Get it while it's hot. Huh?
Now, fellas, I do have one question for you.
Sure.
Now, we talked about the greats, which undoubtedly y'all two are going to be go down in history as some of. Now, with that being said, how do you feel about the potential for WCW reboot?
Oh.
Do you think that would be beneficial for the business, or do you think that WWE should just continue to stash away WCW footage?
I mean, I watch AEW every Wednesday. What are you talking about?
Every Wednesday. What are you?
I mean, Nitro does look a little different, but it's
And then you got Thunder on Tuesdays.
It's pretty much the same presentation minus the big stars.
Yeah.
Oh man. Oh snap. Well,
now, in terms of a legit asking question in terms of a WCW reboot, any of us that grew up on it, I got that nostalgic thing in there. You're gonna have that buzz, like, hey, it could be dope, but
it is. They just don't got a crowd.
That's true, but at the same time, if we reboot WCW, what are we really trying to do? We really can't bring back any nostalgia. Anybody that we grew up watching or made WCW what it was is either retired or, has unfortunately passed on.
Arn Anderson, Tully Blanchard, Snake the Jake Roberts. They got all of them.
They do got after wrestling, right?
That's what I'm saying. It's Nitro. That's them.
Like I said, you want to watch WCW, just tune in every Wednesday night to TNT.
They got pools in the arenas. You can fight in the pool. Come on, bro. This is it.
Tony Schiavone calling the action.
Look at it.
Eric Bischoff this past Wednesday. I mean, what are we really missing?
That's true. I guess there's no need, right? You already got it. Dang.
All we need is for a group of people to start doing this, and we're all set to go.
Oh, man. Hey, I appreciate you coming on to the show, lending us your time. And good luck.
Any fellas have anything they want to ask before we go?
Yo, for real though, where you get that background at?
It's an app he's using right now.
Well, so like you can actually, if you go onto Skype on your laptop, if you have a webcam on it, it'll actually let you just do the background itself. You can just go to Google Images and just download any image you want and just put it as a background.
The damn thing right here.
Anything you want to ask before we wrap up, Matthew?
No, I think this has been a great show. I just want to do this one more time.
Hey.
Left hand on top.
Man, hell yeah.
That's right.
It is.
Let them know. And if you ever see them put their right hand on tap, you have the right to smack them. You know what I'm saying?
That's it. Get it back.
Remember, I said
back.
Just one time.
Right. The only right hand that goes on top is this one.
Yeah. See, right hand on top makes an S for stupid.
That's
so,
it.
It all makes sense now.
Peace, respect.
Yo,
appreciate you guys.
have a good day, guys.
Take
Right.
it easy.
I'm T. He's Matthew. That guy, he's Ty.
He's Cage.
Superstar Whiplash. Absolute Kris Kage. And we'll see you next time. Farewell.
All right.
Peace.